Yo, the black light here. Nice and easy does it. That kind of music is the kind of music that you do the slow grind on. The slow grind, the coffee grind. That's what we used to call it. Grinding that coffee black. No cream or sugar. What am I talking about? I'm talking about down in the basement on a Friday or Saturday night, maybe at a rent party, blue lights in the ceiling. And you see a beautiful young black woman over there sitting down. Every now and then she glances your way. So you go smoothly and politely over to where she's at. And you asked her for a dance. And it's a slow jam playing, not no fast jam. A slow jam, smooth like this, where you can get up close and personal. And you could whisper in her ear so she could hear softly in her ear, so you could tickle her ear. And you could express yourself to her gently. Romantic tune comes on like this. Yeah, I had this dance. I never got turned down myself. Never got turned down. I can't say that. Maybe once. Put it like this, I very seldom got turned down. I'm black light. Seriously. Seriously. I'm the brother like no other, with the flavor that can save you and the kind of knowledge you won't get in college. I don't have nobody in the room, but I'm gonna still do my thing, you know, and post it because I got something very, very important for you to hear. But first, before we get started, let me say to you my intentions, give you my intentions. I'm an FOI soldier in the Nation of Islam. My word is my bond. I will give my life before my word shall fail. My duty is to unite my people, black people, and to protect the women and children of my nation. I will perform my duty faithfully, regardless to whom or what. My life and my death are for all for Allah. I will be loyal and obedient to the supreme being, Allah, in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, whom I choose to be the authority over me. Follow all his commandments the best that I can, and each day do better and better. My will is to do his will, the Lord of all the worlds. No joke. Times are serious. Times are serious. But on YouTube, they won't show brothers, you know, well, put it like this. I don't know if they show them or not. But brothers don't particularly talk about, brothers and sisters don't particularly talk about the black man uh, plight, what we've been going through for 400 years almost. I'm talking about the black man whose ancestors were captured, made prisoners of war, then made slaves, then brought over here and was dummied down for 400 years. You know, the trauma of that, because we were terrorized and raped, you name it. And the Caucasians done everything to us that he's doing now. But ours was worse. We had to endure what they're going through in the Gaza Strip for 400 years, man. That's that's 4 centuries. And you couldn't speak your language. You couldn't say your real name, you know. You didn't know who you were. You had an identity crisis and, oh man, scared, trying to stay alive. He could go in any time he wanted to and rape your woman. And but see, the difference, we didn't have video or either YouTube or the internet. We didn't have that. So people in other lands, people in our own land didn't even know where we was at. They didn't know we was, stolen for a long time, kidnapped for a long time. They didn't know that. So let me repeat this again. I'm an FOI soldier in the Nation of Islam. My duty is to unite my people and to protect the women and children of my nation. My life and my death are all for Allah. I will be loyal and obedient. Now they're trying to get you away from the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You say, well, Farrakhan and them, they are teaching. No, Farrakhan is not teaching like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad set an example. He set an example. The year before he died, that Savior's Day, 1974, the house was packed. The house was packed. And the secretary was given a report on all what the Muslims have obtained. Now, he was talking about farms in different states, temples in every state, schools in a lot of states, showing the banks. He had a bank, he had boats. He was going over to Africa getting imports, commerce. He was dealing with commerce. He had a plane. He had hangars for planes, trucks. He had real estate, apartment buildings, and single family homes, Instead, he was teaching you who you were. Teaching that, he said, you are the original man, God of the universe, original man and a woman. When I say man, I'm including the woman. And he said, Islam has no birth record. It comes with the God. Now, what has happened is that over in Palestine and all them Muslim countries over there, you don't too much see the black Muslims. They don't show you the black Muslims that much. They don't show you the black, they don't show you Malaysians. Malaysia got the most Muslims, and they dark-skinned people. They got a hue to them. That's what that word on top of being, human being, hue means a tint or color, you know. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said those different nationalities that's in the black world, black, brown, red, and yellow. But the Caucasian, he's far from us because he's grafted from us. And all that melanin, you know, is grafted out of him. So he lost his integrity. You know, not all white people, you know, all of them try to be righteous, but it's not in their nature. Righteousness is not in their nature. But by faith and understanding who we are, the black man and woman, they latch on to Islam. Like the Prophet Muhammad 1400 years did. He was a prophet. And he found the Quran, which is the Bible. The Quran is the Bible, you know, and the Bible has been altered, though, by King James. The Christian religion is only, what? It ain't, what? It's not even 2,000 years ago, like when Jesus was born. They say Jesus, but his name is really Isa. About 600 years old, Christianity. Constantine, Serapis, Constantine formulated Christianity. Y'all don't know, you know who Constantine is, most of y'all. But this is not what I want to talk about. Because to get you back to your right state of being, you have to have a thorough knowledge of yourself. But I want to warn you, this is what I want to talk to you about. Now, all those brothers you see on YouTube, a lot of them don't even talk about what's going on. I ain't talking just about what's happening in Palestine. You know, I'm talking about, I wouldn't call them refugees, migrants. That's what they call them. But, you know, how they coming in here. Now, the only way the white man can stay on top of you, you know, and control you through division, divide and conquer. He done it all over the world. Now, don't you find it's suspicious that all your tax money is going over to Ukraine and to Israel? How can they send your tax money over to Ukraine and Israel and they keep talking about how many trillions of dollars worth of debt? Man, you can't even count up to $1 trillion. You need a calculator. Count up to a computer or something to count up to $1 trillion. But who owe that money? And who do you owe it to? And why did they got inflation? Why is there inflation? Don't you ever think about those things? Why was there a pandemic and there's one on the way? Now, there seems to be a lull in the action, in the fighting for a couple of days. But every holiday, it's a war. It's a war every holiday. Why is that? You know, around Christmas time. And then you go with those dollars. Now, they say the dollar used to be backed by gold and silver. But what is it backed by now? Some say oil. Yeah, but they cutting off the oil for the United States, and they not using the dollar no more, the petrodollar, what they call it. They're not using that. They're not using the euro. That's what they use for money over there in Britain and Europe, and they're not using that. The black people, the Africans, they cutting the United States off because that's where all your resources and minerals and precious metals is at. Oil. They got bases over there. They got army bases over in Africa, army bases around the world. But yet and still, they still fighting. Because they got all day science, all day intellect is going into making weapons. They're weaponizing everything. They're weaponizing germ. You got germ warfare, economic warfare, environmental warfare, psychological warfare, spiritual warfare, all geared at you because you're the original black man and black woman, the mother and father of civilization. It's all geared towards you over here. See, we came over here in 1555 originally on a ship called Jesus, you know. And so now a lot of brothers want to say that the Bible is fake. The Bible is real. It's been tampered with. And when John Elijah Muhammad said the Bible was a poison book, well, you put poison in some wine, you know, and you like the taste of that wine, but you're being poisoned because it's deadly. What they put in the Bible is deadly to your psychic and to your spirituality, it's deadly unto your divinity. So you don't know what kind of powers you really got because they nullified your powers by making you deaf, dumb, and blind. You see? And so you built this country up. A black man, the one that laid out the Washington, D.C., the designs. Those are your designs, black man, black woman. But every time they show you Africa, they show you in a hut. They don't show you the rich brothers over there living in mansions and palaces and stuff. They don't tell you about the Moors, how the Moors were black that ruled Spain and Europe for almost 900 years. They don't tell you what they gave, what kind of civilization they gave the caveman, the European. So what they did was flip the script. In the Bible, they went in there and flipped it. That's why it's all like fairy tales, and you know, and it don't make too much sense when you read it. Contradicts itself because they messing with your spirituality, spiritual warfare. You know, you can't tap into what's really inside you. You know, even when you go to school nowadays, you're going to school to work for the white man. Now I'm on a little simple tablet, you know, and I refuse to invest a whole lot of money because black people, they don't make tablets. Your best of rappers, they don't even make they don't even make microphones. They don't even make earphones. We don't have no black people making nothing that's in the music business. See, that's why they broke up Death Row, and you know they. I'm gonna tell you a story about Motown. See, I've been on the planet for 7 decades. I was born here in Detroit, Motown. I'm a musician, so you know I had dealings with Motown and a whole bunch of other studios here. You know, they've been killing black people for a long time. It's under suspect that they killed Sam Cooke, and I believe that they killed Curtis Mayfield or paralyzed him. You know, and Ray Charles, you know, he turned into a junkie, you know, and but he came out all right, but he can only stay in on a certain level. Uh, Motown, Berry Gordy, he left Motown and went to Hollywood. Now I used to hang with this brother named Barrett Strong. He wrote the song called "The Best Things in Life Are Free, but you can give it to the birds and bees. I need some money. That's what I want." But Berry Gordy cheated him. So I had a singing group, and um, he dug our style, he dug our singing. So he started training us and teaching us. While he was training us and teaching us, I hope the brother's still living because I haven't heard from him in a minute. Uh, he also wrote uh, Smiling Faces, and he wrote Just My Imagination. See, him and Norman Whitfield, you know, they were partners, but Norman Whitfield got all the credit, and you didn't hear too much about Barry Strong. But he told me, he say, Gordy, the gangsters came in on him and broke Gordy's arm. Now that's hearsay, you know, that's secondhand information I got from him, and that's why he moved to Hollywood, because the gangsters, which is the white man, probably was extorting him. And so he just a figurehead now, but they getting all the money, and he getting money from the museum and from the publishing, you know. So any brother that start making headway or money, like Bill Cosby, he wanted to buy NBC, and you see how they jacked him up. So nowadays you got to be a homosexual, you know, just to stay in the game with them. That's what they are. They learned the homosexual thing in the caves, you know. So you in the danger zone, black man and black woman, because they're trying not to need you no more. You can't pick cotton no more. They got machines picking cotton. A long time ago, they had made a machine to pick cotton. So they're using AI, you know. So they don't need you no more, black man. So maybe that's why the pandemic came. Now they don't have to pay out Social Security to those dead ones. And they probably was grinding them up for hamburger. Because, well, you know, they're supposed to have mass graves. They say it killed millions. You know, and still killing them with them. You know, I call it the thug bug. They say another one is on its way. In the meantime, you got the migrants over here, and no matter what, you don't know what they get, what's in them. You know, you don't know what's going on. In the meantime, our brothers is gossiping on each other, talking about Poppy got shot. Them they get more views because y'all scared. See, I'm a brother back then when we had the riots in 1967. I'm from back in those days. We didn't fear them, man. You know, that's why they had to bring the dope in, just like they're bringing the fentanyl in on y'all now. You know, and they telling you that Mexico, they said Mexico bringing the cartel from Mexico is bringing in the fentanyl. You ain't got to take it because they bring it in. Just like you ain't got to watch my channel. You know, you don't want to watch my channel. You don't like what I'm saying. You could turn me off, right? Well, you could pass up the fentanyl. You could pass up the crack. You could pass up the alcohol. You know. So say for instance, if they was to do us like the Israel's doing Palestine, because they say they live in an open air prison, like apartheid, right? And we in the ghetto. That's like being on the reservation, like the Indians, or like apartheid. You know, we don't control uh, the food supply. We don't control the water. You know, that's what they did to Palestine, right? They cut off the water. They cut off the electricity. You know, they cut off the food supply. They bombed the hospitals. You know, and they talking about Hamas. They're doing it because Hamas attacked them. You know, well, they could do that same thing to you, black man, black woman, in the ghetto. You don't control the water, just like Flint, Michigan. Look what happened to Flint. You know, see, they're not putting no more money in the infrastructure no more. You know, they letting everything deteriorate because all the money, so-called money, is going over to Ukraine, Israel, and other places they giving your money away that you work for. Now tell me this: who controls the money? Who print up the money? Congress don't print the money up now. Do y'all know who print out all the money? It used to be the United States Treasury, but now the Federal Reserve printing it up. When Congress wants some money, they go to the feds. Now, who controls the feds? Who controls the Federal Reserve? That's the banking system. There's not nothing federal about it. They just threw that in there. Who controls that? They used to call themselves the Illuminati, you know, but they don't call themselves the Illuminati no more. They done broke themselves up into families, you know. So you know the Rothschilds, you know they're the head, you know, and they are Jews, Zionist Jews. Now the Honorable Elijah Muhammad say all of them Jews. The Catholics are Jews. They white people. All white people are Jews. Why they call them Jews? Well, that name right there is sort of like a nickname. But the Israelites, where that name Israel come from? It comes from Jacob in the Bible. When in the Bible, we're gonna get into it later on. Jacob was wrestling with an angel, and the angel. All this is allegorical, you know. But the real truth about it, I'll tell it to you later. But he was wrestling with the angels, and the angel, uh, Jacob beat the angel. So the angel told him to let him go, and told Jacob to let him go. So Jacob said, "I ain't gonna let you go until you bless me." So the angel is God. He's a servant of God, and so the angel said he blessed him and said, "Your name is Israel from now on." Now, actually, Jacob was a scientist. They made a movie just after him called Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I done told you this in my other videos. See? So after he got through making the white man from us, that's where you get all your colors from. But see, black is not a color; it's the essence of color. But out of black comes brown, red, and yellow. The last ain't no color. All the colors out of him, bleached out. He bleached out, the bleached out man. See? And I could prove everything I'm saying, then you could check it out yourself. You got the brown germ and the black germ, or the brown gene, you got the black gene, the brown gene. I had this when I was going to school. Mendel, uh, he was a scientist, and he was talking about every so generation, like you got red roses. Put it like this: you got red roses. Every other generation, you might have a white rose pop up with a bunch of red. You see? Well, the black man is like that. You can look in your family. You might have your sister or brother might be a little darker than you, a little lighter than you. You can graft white out the light one, a little lighter than you. But you got to kill off, and you got to go somewhere like in a secluded area like an island, and experiment on, and kill them off. Kill off keep on killing the dark one off, and gradually you'll come to white, bleach white. So all the integrity is bleached out you. All the righteousness is bleached out you. See, righteousness is a power. It's got something to do with integrity, morals. It's more than It's like balance, you know. Justice is how they describe it in a dictionary. Righteous means justice, you know. Now, that word Jesus, that means justice. See? Now, when you go to the Bible, in the New Testament, Matthew's, they're giving you the illustration of how Jesus uh, was born, which is, you know, they telling you some impossible stuff, but it's some truth in it, what they talking about. Now, the Old Testament, just before the New Testament, on the last paragraph, Malachi 4 and 5, God is verbally chastising Israel. And he's telling Israel, he's saying, uh, before that great and dreadful day, I will send you Elijah. That great and dreadful day is now. He goes out, I will send you Elijah. He will turn the hearts of the fathers to the sons and so forth like that. Now, we all split up now. We all divided. Black man is divided. We always arguing with each other, you know, trying to find out which way to go, who right and who wrong. See, families like the daddy, he out in the street somewhere or in jail, or a crackhead or something. Mama, she had to do it by herself. She's scared to make a man out of her son and challenge the white man. So she sent him to a school. And you go to school, be a good boy. You see they changing up the curriculum in school. They don't even talk about slavery no more. You know, and they want to make sure they want you to think that slavery was like a picnic. You know, it wasn't that bad. You know, you know, they ain't telling you how they condition us by terrorizing us, killing us, not letting us speak our language. Everybody else, the Chinese come over here, they talk two languages. They language and English. You know, they got their Chinese name. You know, they may change the first name to a European name, but they're gonna keep that, like Bruce Lee. Lee is a Chinese name, you know, but he got the Bruce in there. That's Caucasian, you know. Well, we got our first name and our last name is Caucasian. That's the mark of the beast. That's a brand, you know. And long as we in those names, uh, other countries can't tell us from the white man. So, and then plus we claim America. We say we African American, which is crazy. You African American, you know. Uh, so other countries think we just stupid, you know. They don't know that y'all trembling in y'all shoes, scared, you know. That's why our brothers don't, when they come on YouTube with they show, they say, I'm make this money. You ain't making no money, man. Ain't no more money. The money was gold and silver. They went off the gold and silver standard. So they just printing up papers with their pictures on. You know, it's called a federal note. A note means IOU. You know, so they selling your energy and your time. You know, generations. You know, so like your son, you know, is not gonna get Social Security because there ain't gonna be no more money. It's gonna make a card, or you might have to get a chip. You know, and the Federal Reserve is gonna control all of that. On top of that, they're gonna have AI, artificial intelligence, doing the jobs that you used to have in the factories. You know, on the assembly line. You know, they're going to be doing your job. They don't have no use for you. So they're sending that thug bug over here and knock as many off of you as you can, as they can. Then, as this war escalates, you know, the war gonna be, you know, it's time out for a minute right now because they do everything in slow motion. They start off fast, then they slow it down, so you'll forget about it's happening. You know, just like you wanna cook a frog, you put him in a pot of water, lukewarm water, then you gradually turn the heat up. Next thing you know, the frog is cooked. And he didn't feel a thing. He didn't even know he was cooked. And then he got frog legs for dinner. You know. But if you turn that fire up right away, he gonna jump out the pot. You know, so you apply a little heat. So now Israel, that's what they did. They turned that fire up too fast on them. But they knew what they was doing. You know. They making an example out of the Palestinians. Because the UN supposed to be done got them for war crimes, man. But you see the UN ain't doing nothing. The UN ain't stopping them. Because the UN want Iran and all them to jump in so they could go over there and bomb the hell out of them. You know, man, y'all messing with a wicked devil, man. And I'm laughing. It ain't funny. It's no laughing matter, but it just amazes me how wicked this dude, diabolical, man. How he think. This dude is diabolical, man. Now, like I said before, all of them ain't like that, but it's so few of them that's sympathetic, you know, and they don't have no, they can't have no influence over them. And then they scared of their life, man. They be the first one they knock off, you know. So they not gonna, you know, blow the whistle like it really is. Like what it really is they set up Hamas, man. United States and Israel set Hamas up. You know, because you're not going, I don't care how upset or how you hate, say the man next door. You might hate the man next door. But you know he got all kind of weapons. He got shotguns, he got machine guns, machetes, hand grenades, everything. And you ain't got nothing but a 38, you know. So you're not gonna jump over to his house, take his wife and kid, jump back over to your house. Now he know where you stay at, next door, right? You're gonna take his wife and kid, then jump back over to your house. And you got family too. He ain't gonna negotiate, he gonna bomb the hell out the house too. So they say Hamas hid their children in the basement or on the tunnels. You know, they got on the tunnels, you know, they 100 feet underground. In the meantime, your house is demolished. The neighbor next to you, his house gone. The hospital down the street gone. The store gone. Everything gone. And they just bombing you. Now all of a sudden during the holidays, they let up. Why? Because you out there shopping, man. You checking out Black Friday. You going out there, you circulating that fake money. See, it's really is not money. It's a currency. Currency means to flow, right? You know, so you can't save it. You know what I'm saying? You can't save it. You think it's safe in your bank account, but no, when you keep your money in the bank, they lending that money out to their people to buy more weapons with or something. You know what I'm saying? You know. So when you pay your taxes, they not putting it back in the infrastructure, or everything's deteriorating, man. They not building the sewer system back. You know, uh, they don't even know where to put all those dead batteries. You know, so they put them in the ground. They destroying the water system, the water, your family. And Japanese, you remember when they had that nuclear reaction, uh, explosion, meltdown, or whatever. Well, a couple of months ago, they threw the nuclear waste in the ocean. So you got a whole lot of radioactive fishes swimming around. They can't fish, man. If they fish, you know, and sell it to you're gonna be eating telepathy, telepathy, radioactive uh, lobsters. Man, this dude is diabolical, man. You know, in the other country, scared to say something, he'll blow the hell out of him. He the gangster. I mean, when I was coming up, when I used to go to school, and we'd be in the lunch line, and some bullies come up, they give me your lunch money. People give me their lunch money, then they take cuts in front of them. They tried that with me. I'm not bragging, but I'm just not the type of guy to get scared. Plus, I used to get mad real fast. I don't care how big you is, how many of you, you know, um, I might, not, I might chill out for a minute and pick you off one at a time, But anyway, they tried that with me, man. They tried to take cuts. And they got in front of me. And I grabbed a dude. These was white boys. And I grabbed him, cracked him. And the teacher seen me. She white. And we was on the steps, lined up on the steps. And she came up to me and smacked me, knocked me down the steps, man. I went home and told my mom, But when you got bullies, even when I moved over there on Wildermere, and the thugs used to hang out on the corner, and used to walk to the store for your mom, they used to say, "What you got on this wine, man?" And they'll take your money. So they tried to take my money. It was about 5 or 6 of them. And I used to speak to these cats. I thought we was cool, man, but they give it up. We started fighting, man. I put my back to the wall so they couldn't get behind me. And I just started throwing. And I was in the storefront, so it was a narrow, it had that little narrow opening. So the whole gang couldn't get to me. So the two baddest ones was up front. And they was trying to reach over each other to hit me. But the leader of the gang, I started cracking him. Until they started using guns now. When they shipped the guns in the hood, that changed a whole lot of things. But quite naturally, you got to get one too. Back in those days, we used to have to go get our guns from Ohio, Saturday night specials, But this was in the 60s, early 60s and stuff. But we also moved in a neighborhood that was dominated by white people. And they had gangs, white gangs. They had a motorcycle gang. called the Highwaymen. And then they had a hot rod gang, like Fonz. You remember Fonz on Happy Days and all them? That's how they look. Sleeves rolled up with the cigarettes in their sleeve. And it was a handful of us blacks, but we was some bad brothers. I'm not bragging, I'm just saying, see, most of us was from the east side, over there on Hastings Street, Black Bottom. And when our mothers and fathers was working out at the plant and got some money, they moved to the west side in the white neighborhood, and they didn't like that. So it was a handful of us, brothers from the east side over there, moved over there around the same time in the 50s. I moved over here on Finkel when I was 10. I was 10 years old. Now I had to fight them. I had to fight the brothers. I had to fight them when I moved over there. I ain't got no brother. I had a brother, but he died. When I was about 6 months, my brother died. He was 4 years old. He saved my life when I was crawling out the window. He saved my life. Right after that, he had to go to the hospital and he never did come out. And so I didn't have no brothers. And I had a temper though. I get mad real quick, but I was cool, as long as you was cool with me. And my old man taught me how to fight, because he was athlete. He played ball and all that stuff and boxed. And he used to sit me on his knee, and we watched Friday night fights. Sugar Ray Robinson. And it was way back in those days. And then he bought me some boxing gloves and a punching bag, and he would show me self-defense. And when I moved over there on Finkel, I started doing street boxing. We would box in the basement or in the backyard, and then I would, beat a few of them up, and they'd take me to the next neighborhood, bet on me and whatever. And so, I did pretty good. When I moved over in the hood, I gained my respect. And like I say, I had to fight them at the store when I took my mother's. When I went to the store for my mother and father, I had to fight them up there. And got my propers. Now the cats that moved over there after me, they used to come for me for protection. So hey, what I do? I formed a gang for the scary guys. And I showed them some of the techniques, how to fight, how to, I say, man, my mother told me and my dad, they say, pick up a brick, a stick, But I used to, I had 2 knives, 2 switchblades. They used to have switchblades back in those days. And I could twirl them, I could throw them, and, and I do practice this all day long, man. I be dancing, twirling my knives, And if they got good balance on them, I could throw them and they stick in the tree, Or we used to play fumbly peg. And we take the knife, put them on the chin, flip it, stick, put it on our nose, flip it, and stick in the ground. So we got good with a knife, man. And then we made our own weapons, man. We would snatch off a car antenna. A 22 could fit, back in those days, 22 could fit up in a car antenna. And in wood shop, we make the handle. We had metal shop and wood shop. Then we started making pipe, and making handles go to them. But it was crude how we would shoot them. We would get a tire, rubber tire, and put a nail in there, and shoot it. Now to pop that 22, but it wouldn't go straight all the time. Unless you secure it real good, you know. But then we made other weapons, you know. We made bombs out of firecrackers. Then we had Molotov cocktails. You know, you put some gas in a bottle. I mean, I'm telling y'all this. I know y'all ain't gonna do it, but I'm just telling you how we was back in the day, up in Detroit. You know, I'll say that for another day. I'll go back in time for another day. But it's gonna come a time where you're gonna have to get close to each other, because they planning on putting us in concentration camps. See, the economy is gonna get so bad that they're gonna defund the police. The economy's gonna get so bad, time's gonna get so bad out here, they're gonna have to send in the National Guard. You know, and when they send in the National Guards, because that's the only thing that's gonna be over here is the National Guard and the police. And they're making the police like a army now. The police gonna have almost the same kind of equipment that the army got to keep you in check. Just like over there in Gaza, just like in Palestine. You know, see, some of them Palestinians got black in their blood, because actually that's Africa. You know, over there, they call it the Middle East because it's really Africa. You know, and they put the Suez Canal to divide Arabia from Egypt and Somalia and all them places, you know. And what I'm thinking about is, you know, the Arabs used to be white. So they took over that, just like they took over America. I did have two in the room, but I didn't talk long enough. But I just wanted to warn you. I just wanted to warn you that you know, how you gonna fight this? You're gonna have to get close to your next door neighbor. You're gonna have to come together some kind of way. You know, you're gonna have to unite. You're gonna have to unite, my people. And to change your name, you ain't gotta join no Nation of Islam, nothing like that. But you gotta unite. I've been on long enough, and I'm out. Let's do it like this, though. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to let you know what's going to go down, so you could be prepared. This is Black Light. The kind of flavor that will save you. The kind of knowledge you won't get in college. If you stay in tune with me, stay in touch. I'm out.